What if Nevermore Academy was real? Well, first of all, you'd need to find it. Good luck with that. Tucked away somewhere between the misty forests of Vermont, a haunted stretch of the Catskills, and possibly an interdimensional bubble, Nevermore Academy is not exactly listed on Google Maps. Even if it were, chances are your GPS would glitch and redirect you to a cornfield in Kansas. And if you're not an outcast, good luck even seeing the front gate. The moment you step near, your vision would probably blur, your phone would lose signal, and you'd suddenly feel the uncontrollable urge to major in business at a very normal college. But let's say Nevermore is real, physically, legally, educationally, a functioning institution within the modern world. The first question becomes, how does the government even allow it to exist? Well, it doesn't. Not officially. It's probably labeled as a private historical research facility, under something vague like the Federal Antiquities Act. In reality, it's a boarding school for shapeshifters, psychics, werewolves, vampires, gorgons, and one unusually morbid teenage girl who doesn't blink. It would need more than just permission to operate. It would need an entire bureaucracy of secrecy. Think the Department of Education meets the X-Files, with some Hogwarts paperwork accidentally filed in the same cabinet. Now, let's address admissions. Forget SAT scores. Nevermore probably accepts students based on things like full moon behavior, mirror anomalies, and psychic aptitude tests involving levitating goats. And imagine the interview process. Instead of, tell us about a challenge you overcame, it's more like, have you ever accidentally summoned the spirit of a 16th century executioner during gym class? If Nevermore was real, it would also radically shift society's understanding of science. Biologists would have to admit that lycanthropy isn't just mythology. Neurologists would be forced to explain how a teenager can blow out every streetlight in town with a mild panic attack. And physics teachers would be very, very annoyed to learn that the laws of gravity do, in fact, bend slightly in the presence of sirens. And now the real problem? Integration. If Nevermore exists, then its students do too. And they grow up. Some go to work, some become artists. Some probably become dentists, which is both comforting and mildly terrifying. How do you explain your dentist being a reformed gorgon? Do you bring sunglasses? Do you just not blink? With these kids entering the real world, you'd need entire new laws. Anti-discrimination acts would now include no harassment based on ability to transform into a ravenous beast. Human resources departments would be legally required to accept "can see into the future" as a reasonable explanation for skipping meetings. But society wouldn't just accept them overnight. There would be protests, there would be articles, think pieces. Are psychic teens destroying traditional values? Talk shows would have heated debates about whether vampires should be allowed to vote. Answer: only if they're registered and haven't been dead for more than 50 years. Back at Nevermore, things get complicated. If it's a real school, it needs to follow real regulations, fire codes, curriculum standards, parent-teacher conferences. Imagine a parent conference where one mom starts floating during a disagreement about her child's C in chemistry. The teacher tries to de-escalate, but accidentally turns into a bat out of anxiety. And what about grades? Does a werewolf get extra credit for shedding on command? What happens if a student goes invisible during finals? How do you even take attendance? And gym class. Oh, gym class. Imagine the insurance premiums for a school where one student's sneeze can summon lightning. Dodgeball would become a gladiatorial blood sport. PE teachers would require full-body armor and a minor in demonology. Also, let's not forget, if Nevermore is real, then its history is too. All those ancient secret societies, ghost hauntings, tragic backstories, and potentially world ending prophecies. Yeah, all real. Which is a problem, because it means there's a non zero chance the world could be destroyed by a misunderstood teen with telekinetic rage during homecoming. But, you know what? For all its chaos, drama, and general risk of death, if Nevermore were real, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing. Maybe it would give outcasts, the weird, the misunderstood, the uncanny, a place to belong. A place where being different isn't just tolerated, but celebrated. A place where you can walk into the cafeteria, sit next to a vampire, a werewolf, a siren, and a girl who likes to dissect frogs for fun, and no one bats an eye. Maybe in a world full of sameness, Nevermore would be the one place where being strange is normal. And maybe, just maybe, that's something our real world could use a little more of. Just don't forget to check under your bed before you sleep tonight. If Nevermore is real, so are its students, and some of them don't sleep much, especially the ones who never blink.